Eric here with Team Eccentric, and I'm bringing you guys an updated list for my Mermail Atlanteans as of June 2018. I apologize for not being able to post things lately. I've just been kind of preoccupied with other things, you know, skateboarding, paying bills, being an adult, which a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players actually can't say, not to, you know, make a broad, sweeping, generalized statement, but a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players I know aren't necessarily responsible with their own lives, and me personally, I prefer to make sure that my life is intact before getting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and on top of that, you know, skateboarding is kind of more important in my personal opinion, but that's just me. Regardless, you know, I found the time to construct an updated list for Mermails, especially considering the fact that Dragoons went to 3 on the most recent ban list, which I've been waiting for the longest time. So I'm very excited about that, to showcase to you guys my current deck. What's great about this deck is that now that Dragoons is at 3, we have more advantage going into the mid game. That's one thing I can say about Mermails is they used to lose a lot of resources going into mid and late game. They used to just strictly be early game, try an OTK or try and set up a board. But now it's more grind. You know, it's more of a grind. You can grind with the deck. You have 3 Dragoons to play off of, so you can kind of space out your resources a little more, which is very helpful. So going on, I have completely essentially quit competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't go to events or tournaments anymore. You know, I might show up to locals here and there, but I never really actually play in the locals. I just kind of show up and play with friends. It's essentially kind of what my Yu-Gi-Oh! Career, I suppose, has come down to. I just kind of play with people I enjoy, only because, you know, you don't really get anything out of actually playing in events or anything like that. I mean, you can get bragging rights, you might get a mat, you know, things like that, but the prize support also in playing in events, it just isn't worth it to me to pay the money to play in events when I could be using that money to go towards my actual passion, which is filming skateboarding. So that being said, I feel like just kind of playing with friends and just kind of enjoying myself and enjoying my time and kind of just you know, taking Yu-Gi-Oh! Not so seriously seems more appropriate. And on top of that, you know, that being said, I'm not pressured to build meta decks specifically to keep up with, you know, the current state of the game. I don't have to go out and pay $140 to $160 for the Sky Striker spells and things like that in order to construct a deck because I feel pressure to. I can just kind of pick up the cards I want, play what I want, and if I don't want things, I sell them. So that being said, you know, I'm gonna get into the profile. I know I've been kind of talking you guys' ear off. I will say this is not Second Mermail as much as I do want to bring you guys a list of Light of Second Mermail. The thing about it is I'm waiting on one more Sekka's Light, I'm waiting on one more of the spell card, and then I will bring you a completely separate list with the Nightmare Mermail, with the Light of Second Mermails with nightmares and things like that. I'm just kind of waiting on one more Sekka's Light. I know it's like $1 card, but I'm just waiting on it, so you know, I'll bring that to you guys as soon as I can. I'm also working on other decks, like Dragoonities, Cyber Dragons, Insectors, just kind of fun decks, like I said, just decks I want to play, decks I like to play, things that I enjoy instead of, you know, feeling the pressure of having to build meta decks. So that being said, I'm going to get into the deck profile, and I'm starting it off with, as always, triple Neptibus, the Atlantean Prince, best card in the deck. It's the best opener, and I'm so happy that Dragoons is finally at 3. This just gives the deck more, you know, capability to grind out and kind of play a little bit more of the mid game. It just helps the deck out so much. It just gives the deck more resources. So continuing on, I played double heavy infantry, double marksman. I was at one point testing a 3rd heavy infantry alongside the rest of the Atlantean build, or the Atlantean engine, and I didn't so much like it. It was okay. I mean, you know, obviously you're clearing out a lot more face-up cards, but that being said, I mean, 2 infantry is enough. You know, the 3rd one kind of clogs a bit. So that's the Atlantean engine. Pretty standard if you ask me. Now we're moving on to the Mermail engine, which is triple Megalo. This is the LTK card. You drop this, and as long as you can resolve all of its effects, you're probably going to win. This card is still great in my opinion. But still, in my opinion, the best big Mermail. After that, I'm playing Triple Teus, standard. I'm playing double Gun. I know a lot of people actually play Gun at 1 now. Some people play it at 2. I've even seen somebody play it at 3. I like it at 2. I just feel like it's, it's recurrence. It's or recursion rather. You just bring back your Mermails. After that, for the last Mermail, I'm playing 1 Pike. Pike searches out your guns, searches out your marksmans. Pike is kind of irrelevant in this build. I was considering switching this out for something else. Either that or maybe just switching out a gun for something else. Maybe switching out for Abyss Dyne so that I can get more link material so that I can link climb a little easier. However, the Pike is kind of helpful in a lot of opening combos if you're going first, where you can set up rank 4 plays. That being said, I was at one point testing Abyss Lead as well in this build, but I cut that just because I feel like Abyss Lead, as good as it is ripping cards out of your opponent's hand going first, it's not optimal given that you brick it with other cards. If all you draw is Lead and a bunch of spell cards, if none of those spell cards give you any other cards to play with through your deck, then you're just kind of stuck with an Abyss Lead in your hand and it doesn't really do much. So continuing on, playing the Frog Engine, 3 Swap Frogs on Ronin. I would play the Dupe Frog, but I don't really like the Dupe Frog in Mermail. I feel like Dupe Frog should be just kind of saved for Paleos and actual like frog-oriented decks. Continuing on with the main deck, so we got 3 Gamma Seals, still the best kaiju in my opinion. Double Aqua Spirit for link climbing and rank 4 plays, like I said. Being able to make Bahamut Shark and Abyss Dweller is really, really good. 1 Moulin Glacier and 1 Deep Sea Diva for the main deck. That's it for the monsters. Now going on to the spells, we're playing the triple Array of Greed. Again, I'm not playing Light of Sekka, or Sekka's Light. Not because I don't want to, but because I'm still waiting on the last one. So for right now, this is kind of what I'm testing. This is just a Mermail list, or the Mermail engine in this list that I'm testing. And after that, I'm playing 2 Instant Fusion. You'll see my Instant Fusion target later. It's good for negating and taking your opponent's hand traps. I'm assuming you probably know what it is just off of that. After that, I'm playing 1 Abyss Scale with the Mizuchi because, I'm not playing Sekka's Light, so I can play the Abyss Scale and, kind of optimize on Mermail this Megalith's effect. Playing 1 for 1. It's a power spell, Soul Charge, another power spell. Monster Born, it's a combo extender, and then Upstart Goblin for consistency. So that's it for the spell lineup, and now we're getting into the extra deck. So the extra deck consists of Firewall Dragon. It's one of the best link monsters out right now. Skull Dread gains you a lot of advantage. After that, I'm playing 1 Gaia Saber. Because Gaia Saber, it allows you to point down at the Firewall Dragon, which can be helpful in particular combos. I was playing Decode Talker, but I feel like the Gaia Saber is better because it points to the right and left and down, so in any scenario that is next to Firewall Dragon, it optimizes on its bounce effect. So then after that, I'm playing 1 Star Boy, 1 Proxy Dragon, and 1 Link Kuriboh. Link Kuriboh is getting reprinted next month, so I may end up selling this copy. However, I do want to make sure that I keep the Link Kuriboh as long as possible because it is imperative to getting that 5th water in the grave for Moulin Glacier under certain circumstances. So moving on, for the XCs, I'm playing 2 Toads because you can make 2 Toads in this deck and it's actually pretty nutty. 1 Mermail Abyss Gaios, 1 number 42 Galaxy Tomahawk, MVP of the extra deck because this just allows you to link climb like stupid. It's ridiculous. After that, for the rank 4s, I'm playing 1 Bahamut Shark to make the 2nd Toad. 1 Abyss Dweller, and that's it for the Xyz monsters, and then 2 Synchros. Yes, I'm actually playing Synchros in this deck. I know that Synchros and Mermails are kind of outdated a little bit, but I feel like these are actually pretty good. Coral Dragon, and the reason why I'm specifically playing Coral Dragon is because if you link climb with this, you also get to draw cards, so it's more advantage, and on top of that, it is removal given that you make it going second. And then this is more so for opening turns where you can set this up, because if you draw Diva and Prince, you just go Diva, you normal summon Diva first, Diva specials the Heavy Infantry, and Heavy Infantry gives you an additional normal summon of Prince to continue on with your combos, and then later on, as long as you have a Link monster, you can make this using Diva and Heavy Infantry. So it's actually kind of consistent. I do actually make this somewhat consistently. It's actually pretty good. I do like it a lot. After that, for the last card, the Instant Fusion target, the 1 Millenniumizer Strict, because if you open with an Instant Fusion and a Prince, essentially your opponent you know, they try and activate Drone Lock or Ash Blossom, they cry. This card is great. I love this card. Not only that, being able to Monster Reborn this and Soul Charge this, or even Firewall it for the second instant fusion play is just really, really good. So that's it for the main deck and the extra deck. Now I am gonna bring you guys kind of a side deck. And I know that I said I don't go to locals or events anymore, but I'm just kind of bringing you guys a side deck just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I think of the current format, because I do still kind of research what decks are in the meta right now just to kind of keep up with the game just in case, but also I said in previous duel videos, anytime I film a duel video, I'm gonna want a side deck on both players, because you know, sometimes a deck may essentially be way too advantageous over another deck or something along those lines. So having a side deck in those filmed matches kind of helps, in my opinion, to even out the playing field. And that being said, this is what I personally would bring if I was filming a duel video. So this is my side deck as of right now. I'm playing 3 the Winged Dragon Raw Sphere mode, just because people do still set up really crazy boards. So you know, this sometimes Game of Steel just isn't enough, and you need to side them out for this. After that, I'm siding the 3 Ash Blossoms. Still, in my opinion, probably one of the better hand traps, but Draw and Lock is probably honestly stronger than this. This is kind of for those one-time uses, but it is still pretty good. After that, Speak of the Devil, 3 Draw and Lock. You know, it's really, really good against the Sky Strikers. After that, I'm playing triple Mystical Space Typhoon just because Altergeist, you know, back row decks, things like that. Normally I play like Twin Twisters or Galaxy Cyclones, but now, given the new time rule, you know, in case I ever decide to attend the locals, I'd rather not play the Galaxy Cyclone or the, you know, the Cosmic Cyclone rather, the one that pays 1,000 to banish, spell or trap. And at the same time, Twin Twisters I feel like kind of ruins a lot of hand advantage by forcing you to discard a card, so I feel like MST in this scenario is kind of the better option right now. And then after that, for the last card I'm signing, it's 3 Called by the Grave, specifically because hand traps are still really, really relevant. And sometimes your you know, Millenniumizer Strict isn't enough. You need another way to counteract your opponent's hand traps, so you just side these 3 cards in over something. So that's it for my Mermail deck profile, guys, and like I said, I will be bringing you guys more deck profiles. I won't be bringing you guys necessarily the most competitive decks, only because, again, I don't play at locals, I don't play at events anymore. However, a lot of my friends still do, so they will more than likely be keeping the competitive spirit of Team Eccentric alive, I guess. You know, kind of the you know, it's just kind of vexing to me to, you know, play this game, spend all this money, and not really get any really good prize support out of it. I feel like it's just not worth it. So, that being said, I will still be bringing you guys other deck profiles. Like I said, I have a lot of deck profiles in the works of fun decks that I actually enjoy playing or want to try to play. Examples including Dragoonities, Cyber Dragons, Light Swarms, Blue Eyes, things like that. But that will come with time, and we'll see kind of where the channel goes from there. You know, I won't be posting, you know, as consistently, or, you know, I'll just kind of post at my leisure, and, you know, just kind of post whenever I can get some footage up. I'm going to try my best to try and still keep the content best quality as possible, you know, to kind of, you know, try and maximize on all of the efforts of every player that still kind of plays with Team Eccentric, essentially. So, with all that said, Eric here with Team Eccentric, and I am signing out.
Rate and subscribe, leave your comments and ideas in the comments section below, and don't hesitate to give us respectful suggestions on content you want to see. Eric on behalf of the team saying take care, and Team Eccentric out.